It is Friday once again.
Yes.
And in the start of the new year, like everything else, things change.
Yep.
And we have Keri doing Prodigy live on Fridays now, and it's a departure and a addition to a program that's kind of gone on for the last year. And I think it's exciting times. Like, obviously one of the toughest things is like when you do this and starting out, like you kind of, and you're used to doing stats.
Yes.
And like you used to doing like, everything's kind of like very rigid and structured, and now it's unstructured, and it's like you have to kind of like, it's a different route.
Yeah, different vibe.
Yeah. And it's a different vibe, and I try to tell her it's like how do you say, you make it about just being fun with it and kind of like going with the process and just like being yourself and forgetting that you actually have people watch. And it's like talking amongst friends, and you guys are obviously friends, so we all we all want to keep it that simple. But so let's get into a couple of things. I'm going to get into a couple of housekeeping things. Yeah. But how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's Friday.
So, how was your birthday? Let's get into what your birthday was about.
Oh, my birthday, I had a good birthday. I just went out with my mom, dad, sister.
Where'd you go?
We went to that new restaurant. I'm gonna butcher the name. Carados. Cuisine.
Cuisine? Well, we know that could be a Staten Island thing.
It was very good though. That was down there.
Yeah, you could use mine.
Thank you. It was very good, but
what was the main theme of the restaurant?
oh, it's like an Italian restaurant, so it's just like.
Was it spelled like your name, like a Q or a C?
A C.
So if it doesn't know how to spell the name, it's spelled
not
Q.
with a Q. Oh wait, my
Yeah.
last name.
Yes. She always apologizes. It's not even. It's not. There she goes.
No.
It's one of those. As time goes on, obviously those nervous tics kind of go away.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, so let's get into a couple of things before we get into what we're going to be talking about, which is
the 2024 trends for interior designs.
Yeah. So there you go. We're going to do interior design.
Fine.
What's going on with interior design? Like, what's the hottest trends? How, and sellers kind of can understand like maybe what buyers are looking for, especially as things change or turn over in the next couple of months. Selling seasons here, obviously. So we're going to get into like those topics. Yeah. But let's get into some housekeeping items. A couple of things going on. Obviously, the Fed's meeting is coming, I believe, in 2 weeks. We're going to get some policy announcements. We're going to see whether or not we have like inflation numbers come in, the data comes in. We're going to see if basically if there's going to be any changes to rates. I don't think so. I think in the last report there was like there was some rumors, but I think March we'll start seeing the first rate cuts. But it's dicey out there, guys. I'm not going to tell you that it's not. It's a very easy time because I think most people have realized inflation has kicked in big time. The job numbers are just awful.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is go on TikTok, and you can see exactly what is basically. If you see me touching the iPad, it's because I'm going to move some things around so you guys can see us on other platforms besides this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. You guys can see it on mine. There we go. So let's get into it. We're going to Zach. Is that Zachy? Zachy's on. Zachy is on. Hey Zachy, how are you?
Hey Zachy.
Zachy wants to actually do live. Like he's going to be doing live next week. I'm going to be honest with you. For those of you who are leaving questions, you know, she's quite a bit younger than I am, and her eyesight's just about as good as mine. So she probably has a much hard time seeing who's there. But hi guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
And let's get into what we're going to be talking about. Like I said, mortgage rates are up this week, which is, this market's just, oh God, please, let's get on with it, right? But let's get on with the spring selling season. And I think for a lot of people out there, it's like they're just like waiting for like, when's the next shoe gonna drop? So let's get on with the cheap money. Let's get on with the cheap money, and that's coming in the form of interest rate cuts, which are going to happen. If you haven't heard, they're going to be coming up in the next couple of quarters. I think by March, the second quarter of 2024, which is scheduled for recession. They did say something about a recession, and if everybody thinks that there isn't one, they're fooling you. I think the recession's lasted for almost 2 years now, ongoing now. I think it's been about 2 years running. Recession has been, but they'll deny it to the hilt. I don't know what your guys' feelings are. If you have a debate about that, maybe you could let us know. But we're going to get into what we have going on with interior design, because I do think that today's buyer now, the buyers, and as the market changes, people could pay attention to this, because I think at the end of the day, these may be preferences that you should look at if you're going to maybe sell in the next couple of months and you've already started some projects. Which direction should you go in? Let's get into what direction we should go in. Yeah. How that should look for people and what you came across. So kick it off, Keri. What are we doing? What's the first thing that people? What's the new styles for 2024?
The new styles I feel like are very like modern.
So just give us a story. If you don't know, Keri does home tours as well.
Yes.
So give us like an example of like a house that you like, it kind of caught your attention. You've been in you did quite a few home tours this past year.
Yeah, I've done a lot.
Yeah. And obviously she likes one of the better ones, of course. One of the most expensive houses we have on the market, which is.
Yes, I loved 106 Overlook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a specific design style, or was it just the?
I love the view, first off, like from the back of the house.
Yeah, it was like an open concept, right?
Yeah, very open concept. It was just very clean looking.
Right.
I like neutral colors. It was neutral, like white.
Right.
It was
just simple,
like,
right?
Yeah, simple. I'm a simple person. I like simple stuff.
You are a simple person. One of the few things that you know. I don't always agree with everything that it says, but you keep it kind of plain.
Yeah.
So she likes, and that's kind of the style. Minimalist overall, like the concept we're going to talk about, a minimalist style.
Yeah, minimalist.
Minimalist.
I know.
It's a tongue twister.
Minimalist.
Yeah, that's the style. So
yeah.
The big thing is like what you really want to get from that minimalist style is really the key here. So let's get into it. What's the first one? That the minimalist style for 2024.
So
Go ahead, Keri.
Minimalist. Like I said, it's basically like less is more.
Less is more.
Yes. So like, if you watch.
Did I see flashing?
It's the light.
Oh, okay. If you see us flashing back and forth, it's always one thing or another.
Yes.
But okay.
For example,
yes.
I've been watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
There you go.
And like their houses are very minimalist. Like their furniture is like weird. Like it's weird, but it's like empty kind of looking, like their house is like
empty is the new style.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. That's been the concept that like you see, and one of them was that Scandinavian, which was the first one, I think.
Yes.
The Scandinavian style, which is one of the most popular styles, like that type of design. quality, correct? I mean, that's really what we look for. Like, these are the 2024 trends, so it's important. Like, so if you're going into that selling season, I think what you want to do is pay attention to this one thing, which is like, here's Victor.
Yes, he said something.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'd have to pull it up.
Okay.
But Victor, I gotta get Victor on here next week. Victor and Zaki want to do live, so we're gonna get them on. But
Yes.
so Scandinavian style. Explain the style. So what do you got for us on the style? Like what to expect with styles and that Scandinavian style?
So Scandinavian is also known for simplicity.
Yes.
It says clean lines and a millennialistic approach.
Yeah. That.
So light colors, neutral.
So that falls in line with what you were like looking at on at Overlook.
Yes. Yeah.
And Vic is happy because we're plugging one of his properties, Overlook. And that is, it's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
I mean, that house is just like.
And you wouldn't think that from how big it is.
Yeah, that's one of the things about, and one of the things about that house is, and that's why Vic will say good marketing is important, is that approach to it, the approach that they kind of took was that open concept, but it's kind of like reversed itself. So from the front, it looks kind of like a ranch house, and from the back, it's like this tall,
it's crazy,
gigantic mansion. But like, and it's got multiple floors. It's well crafted, and Vic does such a good job explaining it. He's got it down to it. He's got that place down to science.
Oh yeah.
But let's get to.
Yeah.
So we did this Scandinavian, for anybody who knows, you kind of highlight the fact that it's minimalistic style.
Yeah.
That is the overall theme of 2024.
Yeah.
Because everybody's broke. Keeping as little furniture at cost is probably the way to go. So nobody's going to come and complain that, do I have enough furniture in the house? Well, it's not necessary anymore.
Yeah.
You could basically sleep on the cot.
No. That's so funny. Like when you just move into a house and you have no furniture to bring into.
That's
leave it like that.
That's the way to go. So that's the generality of it.
Yes.
So what do we have next? That there is a little bit of retro in here, and that goes into the next one, right?
Yeah. So this is mid-century modern.
Mid-century modern. So that would be 1950.
Yes.
And if you saw some things leading up to this, we actually, I did a 1950s theme knowing, because I actually was looking at some things, mid-50s, Miami.
Yes.
Which I love.
I did see that post.
I love, there was a show on TV, Magic City. I happen to like a lot. Magic City, it was a very short run series, and it was taking place in the Art Deco style hotels down in Miami. My wife loves it.
Nice.
Art Deco style. It was a great time. I think that took place in the early 60s, but you can get into it.
Yeah, so it's basically retro style feel, so 1950s, 1960s.
So we're saying the wood paneling may be back. I think in one of our renderings, I think it still exists. Is the wood paneling back, guys? Do you think so? Do you think wood paneling is back?
I don't think wood paneling. I don't know.
No, we're not there yet. But it is that mid-century look, right? So the modern. That's the new modern. That's the new. So it is. Even though I don't think that time classified as a time for minimalistic style, it was very opulence. The 50s was a pretty golden era for America. So there was a lot. So the tchotchkes became a thing in the 50s. So adding. Yeah, I think if you go through the course of American history and the housing and how people kind of evolved through the housing markets and what you see.
Yeah.
Now we're in the minimalist era, right?
Yeah.
So but there was one time where like tchotchkes and tchotchke, tchotchke, whatever you want to call them. Everybody has their own term of it. But the big thing is that this and the economics do factor into what I call minimalistic style. So that's why when we talk about minimalist, it's like people's their comfort zone with spending on like little decorating items are not as essential. So they can put them literally into the walls. And that's really the purpose of when we talk about 2024 minimalistic style and we talk about furniture and things like that and how you're keeping those things down, is that cost of things about. So it's not surprising to see that the minimalistic approach to interiors is really come down to more simplicity.
Yeah.
And you'll see, like during the 80s when things changed, 70s were a rough time. 70s, a lot corresponds with clutter during good economic times. So if you notice times of periods of, and like minimalistic styles have always appeared in times when like economies weren't great. So it fits, and you know, I don't think the economy is horrible, but you're seeing things like, we're seeing like the return of retro feel.
Yes.
There were some people out there, you talked about like mid-century, right? We have people that have bathrooms that still that like have come back, they're no longer in vogue.
Yeah.
And they're in vogue, I mean, as of now, because it's like, they literally grew back into. So you'll see the pink bathroom.
Yeah, it's like, it's coming back in style.
You've been in a couple of houses that have that kind of retro 50s feel.
Yes, I have been. I'm trying to, retro 50s. I put, okay, I think it was 80 Leslie?
Yes, it is.
It is, right?
Yes.
They had like that pop of like green wall, like green kitchen, and they also had like wood, like a wood kitchen kind of almost also. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that's good. Yeah, actually that is. So that kind of used. So like, and it's like those tiles like are back. It's like you see them, like people like going back, and it's like, okay, maybe you don't need the upgrade. Maybe you don't need the upgrade. Maybe it's just because it is back. Yeah. And I've seen more like the pink type of stuff, like making like that kind of comeback and like. Yeah. And this is mid-century modern characteristic, which is two of like 6 or 7 or 8 or 10. Maybe we get to most of them. Yeah. But we'll get in. But what's the next one? This is an interesting one because it was big. This was big in the 90s.
The 90s. Okay.
So early 90s, and it's made a reemergence into what I think the landscape of the like home design will be for 2024. Again, and there's a reason for this because one of the things is like warehousing space. A lot of warehouses were converted into like condo lofts and things like this, and like all across the city. Hoboken is notorious for them. Yeah. So what happened is a lot of the stuff fit. So what they do is what they have now, which is called
industrial.
Right, industrial style. It's back. It's back. The early 90s phenomena, which is the industrial style. Yeah. And what does the industrial style entail?
So it's inspired by old factories and warehouses. It says exposed brick, metal accents, open spaces, and a blend of rustic and modern elements.
Right. So basically, when you say one of the things is air ducts. So if you know about air ducts and ducts like ductwork and all that exposed, brick wall, like, and this is the thing, it's like these things, again, they tapered off as time has moved on, but again, a lot of it has to do with what I call like maximizing return on livability and expense. So like instead of going into like the whole expense of renovating, people are like accepting the property for what it is, especially when you talk about industrial style. Instead of like ripping down and, you know, And to be honest with you, the cost of like metal in general, so you probably don't even want to take it out. To be honest with you, but probably the metal in the place is some of the ductwork is probably worth more than a car. Yeah, I mean the way, yeah, and so like the exposed beam things, it's not like there are fine spaces anymore. And this again, emblematic. 2024 is emblematic of like the change in economics, and these are kind of all fitting in line with that. It's like simplicity is definitely in retro styles, like in 90s style. We went into mid-century, and now we're into industrial, which was a 90s phenomenon. If you know anything about real estate back in the early part of the 90s, mid 90s, again the mid 90s had saw a recession. And whether they classify this or not is, but it seems for the most part that most people behave like it is, so we'll call it what it is. And construction materials are through the roof. People are minimizing upgrades for spaces that may just require paint and some, like, let's take down the old wall, let's leave the exposed brick, let's leave the exposed, and it's like leave those things as elements as part of the design. And that was popular in the 90s, and it reflects upon like people's ability. Obviously, if you know what building costs are now, it's cost prohibitive to build.
Yeah, I mean, I love like again back to 106 Overlook.
Yeah.
Like they kind of had like cobblestone.
Okay.
I feel like that kind of goes into the category exposed brick, but it's cobblestone. But that I loved also about that house.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say it was like exactly industrial, definitely more.
Yeah, I think I think that's it is. It's a mix. There's a contemporary feel to the house.
Yeah.
I think there's a contemporary feel. I think there's a couple of mixes of elements in there.
Yeah.
There's one of the things like when it comes down to understanding like the design trends for 2024 is they're gonna keep things to one of the things that I've noticed though, I have noticed in all these things is there's still not, we haven't gotten to the age of carpets, and I don't know if that age is ever gonna come back 100%.
Oh, carpets?
Yeah. What's your feeling personally? You've been in a house before, you've done quite a number of them.
Yes. Carpets. I'm not crazy about them myself. Cause one, if you spill something, it's like hard.
That's something you really don't come across a lot. Did you spill something or not? Like carpet is just hard to maintain, right?
Yeah, it's hard to maintain. Like a rug, you could like bring it to like a rug cleaner. I'm sure there's a name for it. But if
you have wall-to-wall carpet, you can't even take it out.
Yeah.
So you have to bring in
You
have to bring in somebody to do it. So
exactly.
and I think most of the minimalistic approach has been focused on this one element as being like, yes, there's some carpeting, but that still seems to be passe in this environment.
Yeah.
Like people are keeping. And obviously, one of the greatest things we have as a tool here is we're able to actually, the age of technology is just amazing. You can get conceptually what people are actually seeing here. So, and again, one of the biggest things is this is not anything to be surprised. There's the next one, right?
Modern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it kind of like ties in with the Scandinavian.
Right.
Thing.
So it's like,
but it says clean lines, open spaces, and modern interior design, neutral color palette with pops of bold color. So like there's like a pop in there.
Right, and so and I think one of the things is glass, right? I think one of the things that
shiny.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, it is. It's like like ceilings. But I think in the modern concept, one of the biggest things are, and I think we actually have a drone video of modern concept houses that are on the shore. I think there's a couple of them on our Facebook page, so even on YouTube.
Take a look.
Yeah, and the big clean windows, part of that mix. So like one of the things that you'll see in modern, and The funny thing about modern concept design is, and it's kind of funny again, when it came to housing, like as time has moved on, the simplicity of the simplicity of the house structure itself lends to lower cost as far as architecture management, like how to, when you have cleaner lines, like you go back to like the early, like from 1900s to like 1955, when tract building became a thing. Modern concept is really 1950. It started the modern concept of housing, which is 1950, where you see, I mean, everybody's commonly knows here, like you see a ranch style house, you see, which is square.
Yeah.
Right? It's just basic square concepts.
Yeah.
Again, reflecting of the economics. So when you see a lot of those are what we call tract building. So what happens is they're very economical to build because the types of renderings and everything is clean cut. So like when they go in, it's very easy to make straight line this, straight line that, where like design concepts even early. And that's because tract building, it was not affordable to make. Like back in the day, people would design houses for like the architecture was an art. Not saying it's not an art now, but it also has to be practical.
Yeah.
In a practical sense, whether it's economical to do. The modern design has been something it pops up a lot. I don't think here locally, New Jersey, especially like shore locations, shore have adapted. You'll go, I mean, I've been in Monmouth Beach. We have some, I mean, a lot of the houses there were former like bungalows and things like that, and have turned into these absolutely stunning modern concept houses. And one of the biggest thing with modern concept houses that you were talking about, they're neutral. Most of them are neutral colored. Most of them big windows, very minimalist interior design. And the lighting, natural lighting is key. Flat lines everywhere, basically keeping the context of the space to be very symmetrical. So it's very. So the big thing is that you get all these things in the modern concept. That is both and glass. And glass is probably one of the few things that have actually, it's gone up in price. But now the glass concept, you're going to see, structural glass is now a thing. So if anybody doesn't know about structural glass concept, meaning that instead of walls, that these glass pallets are made to be as strong as walls themselves. So you see much more houses being adapting to this new modern. And if you touch the window, they turn. You could make privacy.
Oh.
Yeah, they turn white.
I have seen that.
They turn white, and they actually you could create.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you see them around. You'll see them. There's one building down South Beach condos in Long Branch have that concept. Everybody's kind of like they are very wide open, the wide open space, and I think it's a big departure from your typical. So and getting on to the next thing, which is something we're very familiar with. It's back again.
Coastal.
There you go. Coastal design.
Yes, coastal interior design. It's like a beachside living interior with light colors, neutral textures, and like beachy, just beachy vibes.
When you go to, now I know you said that, I mean you've been to the shore.
Yes.
Do you
yes, I
have. She's laughing a lot at that.
No.
I'm not going to go into the details of what that is. But, maybe that'll entice people to watch more. I'm okay.
Next Friday.
Yeah, you can do Tales from the Shore. Well, I mean, it's February, so we won't get that. Well, then you'll have to wait for May for that, at least. Maybe April.
Yeah, we have to wait till the summer.
No, we used to get started down there. So we were talking about coastal design, coastal concepts. Coastal is back. It never, does it actually disappear? No. I think the clash right now and if you say to me between the two concepts you described here is the modern concept and the coastal concept.
Yeah.
Both of them appearing a lot on the coastline. The modern concept and the coastal concept have begin to like, and I've seen maybe the modern concept starting to overtake the coastal concept now than ever before. Because one of the things about the coastal concept that you had brought up is light colors, obviously, and the neutral palettes now, where I think sometimes things were bold at one point.
Yeah.
We're going into the bold era. I think bold era of color kind of palettes for housing was, you know, people would definitely take on the deep reds or the deep blues or the deep. Now we've kind of reversed course on that. Coastal is basically lighter tones, right? So we talk about neutral, lighter tones. Yeah. Sand tones.
My mom, she wants to change our kitchen. Our kitchen's like kind of has like a dark feel to it, and now she wants to make everything lighter. So it's kind of like it's just changing now. Like
right. Do you see? I mean, and she actually for your advice on like what you think should happen. Is that like a thing now?
Oh yeah, she's always asking me like what's trending and like.
Well, you're setting trends. So I mean,
I am. My generation is setting trends.
So of like, well, I'll get into another concept in a minute.
Okay.
Because I want to move along to the next thing, which is a really interesting one, and it's you don't see it commonly, and I don't think in this part of the areas, but there are parts in New Jersey that definitely follow along this particular concept. So what is that concept?
Farmhouse design.
Right. That is a thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
I am a fan of it, I have to say.
Well, I mean, you're going to set the tone, not me. I'm kind of past that point. But you're setting the tone. So, yeah. And I'm going to tell you where this is seen a lot. Because, go ahead. What's the concept though behind?
So it combines rustic and modern elements. So it has barn doors, a cozy, welcoming atmosphere, and I feel like it has like beams.
Right.
Like, you know,
a lot of
exposed beams. Yeah.
That's it. And where you're seeing this, okay, this concept, I was actually in a place if and you know me, I'm just like all over the place. You could tell I'm TikTok land. I'm all over the place. I do a lot of exploration. And one of the concepts that you see this in now, and one of the, I think, is a lot of New Jersey places, like I was in Bernardsville, the Peapack, Gladstone area. Sometimes when you go into Colts Neck, a lot of these are transformed to have farmhouses, and they've left the elements of farmhouse concept. But then these are mansions, folks. It's kind of crazy to say, but I've been out there, and the concept now, so farmhouse concept is a real thing. You're not going to see, obviously, Staten Island being a much more urban center. You don't see them. So you'll see this farmhouse concept actually exist in places in central part of New Jersey, a little bit further west. So if you're going 440, you're going straight out, right, pretty much to Bernardsville, and I mean, there's absolutely, if anybody doesn't want to take a day trip, this is a place where this concept, it is. People don't realize, and like I called it like my tour, my New Jersey tour this summer, because I've been in quite a bit of places, and one of the things is, and the great part about it is that you learn so much about the lay of the land, and because there's so much, it's like when you travel an entire state and you really like in depth, town by town, and obviously being a drone pilot, I get to see things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's like you get to see quite a bit of how everything lays out. And sometimes you really don't get the full concept till you get home. But the barn house, the whole barn house type of concept is existing everywhere. You see mansion, there's 2 or 3. I'm going to have to go through my record and post this at some point because they're out there. I have 2 or 3 of them. Like these are they're mansions because these farmhouses were like restored. They're bought. Obviously, the farmland part of the business is no longer existing. So so it's been turned into, some of them have kept it. It's kind of interesting. Some of them have preserved the concept of a farm. Like you see some places like, it's not purely like, it's not like, they're planting trees or they're knocking things down, it turns into a big concrete. They've kept the concept and the natural concepts of the land to fit the house. But this concept, there are barns out there that are now mansions, and they actually use this particular concept. The barn doors. So the garages now have the barn doors on them.
I love the barn doors. I really do.
Yeah. You see, and it's like, it wasn't around before. Again, it is a simpler concept, the whole barn door concept, where like a lot of things were, obviously in some of these houses it's still electronic, but pulling open barn doors definitely makes a simpler construction.
Yeah.
Because we've been so used to, and you don't see it as much now, is like, the garage door opener and the thing, the garage comes up and then goes into a track and all this stuff. Now it's like they swing open sideways and they just roll on rollers and they kind of spread open, and it keeps it simple.
Yeah.
But you see this in like I said, Somerset County, you see quite a bit of this, where it's, even in some parts of Monmouth County on the western side, you'll see these concepts exist. So this is the modern, this is the farmhouse concept, which is, they're not tearing down the old in that particular thing. They're keeping the elements, especially the exposed wood and things like that. So it's an interesting.
It's one of my favorites. My favorite interior
design. You're a country music person.
Right? I am.
So
it makes sense.
It fits your whole thing.
It does. Like a barn house, like wedding. I always thought that would be so nice.
Yes.
Like in a barn house, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, these are quite, which is the whole entire concept which is the whole entire concept we've been talking about, which is what?
Minimalistic.
Minimalistic.
Minimalistic. It's a tricky word to say.
It is.
Too many M's and N's.
Minimalistic.
Minimalistic.
Or minimalist is, again, I think that's, not to re-establish what that is. We've kind of hit that. We've kind of hit that out of the park. I don't know about this one, and maybe the people out there could give me a hint on like this particular style, and maybe what we'll do.
What?
Since we have this on here, we actually, so if you don't know, we already have concepts. We'll post these concepts for you so you can kind of look at it. Yeah, so you've got to see exactly what we're talking about and see if you agree or not with these concepts for 2024, because the beauty is we can analyze trends now in a matter of seconds. It's that's the world we live in. Yeah. We can analyze trends in seconds. Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
It is. This doesn't tie in with interior design, but on TikTok I saw, so last year, like the trendy look was like clean girl aesthetic, like having your hair slicked back, like just like looking very clean, like
clean and plain.
Yes, plain. And now they say, I saw on TikTok a couple of videos that for 2024 they want to do mob girl aesthetic. So like big glasses, really puffy jackets.
1980.
Like, it's coming. Yeah,
that's
coming
the
back.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Don't. I don't know. It's kind of, it's like, now I get it, because you're like first time to this, and it's like when you talk about trends and things like that, so trends, that seems to be a thing, and like that was like a early 80s concept. What you're talking about is early 80s, and it was just, I call it like the time of just, it was design hell.
Design hell?
I don't know, maybe is it like my teen years, my early teen years, spent most of my late teen years, as a more 90s era than it was 80s. Being, but I did spend I spent high school in the 80s, college 90s. And the 80s were horrible.
Yeah.
Everything about it. Sorry. I'll call it for what it is. I didn't like it.
Not a fan of the 80s.
Not a fan of the 80s. And if everybody knows what a sham shirt is, they used to be like these puffy shouldered things. They used to be like girls wear like those big pads and shoulder pads.
Yeah. Yes, I have seen that before.
Would you wear that?
No. I'm not a fan of the shoulder pads, so.
But you say that's it. Are you saying that's coming back to puffy jackets?
I think I like the big furry like.
Oh, okay.
There.
Maybe 70s style. I don't know.
Like
I hope that
glasses.
style is coming back. That belongs.
Like mom
that's like
wives.
this would be like a chapter.
Yeah, we're all
That the
I'm
80s
not-
chapter. I don't know. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Maybe not. I
Yeah.
don't know. I have no idea. I'm
I'll show you a
spitballing here.
video.
The interesting one is, is it bohemian by default? So
Yeah.
going to minimalistic approaches, this may really fit the bill, right? I mean, this is an interesting one. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So bohemian is
Also referred as what?
boho.
Boho.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
boho.
has a
What is that?
name.
Instead of Soho, boho? It gives you a posh. I guess the idea is much more posh than the reality.
Boho.
So basically,
It's a
this.
cute name.
Yeah. So get into the style because I have my take on this.
Yeah, it's just very colorful. A mixture of patterns, textures, and like very kind of like free spirited kind of feel.
Right. Free spirit.
Yeah.
So that means throw anything in that room. Monopoly board games that are colorful. I'm not a big fan of this one though.
No.
I can't. I
agree with you on
to
that.
me, it's one of the trends, and I think it's the trend of minimalist as far as doing absolutely anything about cleaning.
Yeah, it's like complete opposite.
It's like all your tchotchkes that you had in your closet, throw them out on the table,
Yeah.
and just keep it like I've been in that. Lord, this is more common than it's like this is like the style where people don't like to throw stuff away.
Yeah. No, you're
So
so
it's funny, but because minimalist defines this segment, and this is far from it.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's minimalist in terms of like maybe reused items.
Yeah.
You're not gonna spend a lot for this
Yeah.
stuff. But you probably could go to like this is the stuff that you find on the curbside.
Oh my god. Garbage hunting. Me and my mom used to do that together, yeah.
Sure, that's a secret.
No!
Your mom's gonna kill you.
No, she loves it. She hasn't done it in quite a while. You don't really see people doing that anymore, I feel like. Like, she would
You know
take-
what? Yeah, the only thing garbage hunting now is like cans.
Yeah.
I have a guy that
Water
comes around.
bottles.
Well, I have a guy that comes around with like a flashlight on his head.
Yeah, me too. I have like a couple of them because
They walk around with the flashlight.
You get money for cans and water bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too.
Some of the, I don't even know. It's a side hustle.
It is. It's not bad.
You want those extra pair of pants? Go collect some cans.
No,
They're gonna have can wars soon. That's gonna be like a
can war.
can wars. I mean, like
Oh.
whose territory is gonna be like everybody's gonna be out collecting.
I know, right?
Who's it? One time like people used to scream about the I don't even bother anymore because there's so many people doing it. Like,
Yeah.
It's
Well, vintage is very in right now.
yeah. Because nobody wants to pay $200 for a pair of pants.
Yeah. You're right. But like thrifting,
Thrifting,
is very
yes.
in. So like it kind of ties into
We're
garbage
becoming
hunting.
very,
It's like
very,
vintage was in.
yeah,
Now I feel like it's more.
right. Because
Yeah.
I think costs. Right?
Yeah.
What is an outfit now? Like, what would be an outfit?
An outfit.
Like, if you say tomorrow, I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
So you can call me.
Okay. So I'd say jeans probably cost somewhere between like $60. Like 60.
60.
Yeah. A shirt, maybe 30. Depends. It really depends. So I guess like just for a pant and a shirt.
What is that? Shearing? Is that new thing?
Oh, Shein?
Shein?
No. Shein's very cheap.
You
Shein?
hate it.
What?
You don't like it?
No, I love Shein. This shirt and this shirt are from Shein. But these pants I'm wearing,
That's all I hear every day.
they're 70. These leather
These
pants are
apps.
70.
Everybody's apps have it. Like, you'll be sitting next to somebody, and I haven't seen. This is a close confines in here. You always see Shein. Like, we have agents, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, not the guy agents. Not the male agents.
They have a guy section though.
Do
So
they?
yeah.
Oh God.
Check it out.
No. I'm still a Banana Republic person.
Banana Republic.
Banana Republic Express.
Express I get. I like Express.
Banana Republic son.
I don't know Banana. I never shopped there.
No.
I don't know people that shop there.
Now you do. Now you do.
No, I do. I know one.
Yes. I mean, it's like it's overpriced gap. It's overpriced.
Right, yeah.
Somebody says but no. So we're going over design concepts. So let's get on to the next one before I keep you here till like 9:30.
Oh gosh.
And we'll get to the last one.
All right, the last one is traditional.
Traditional,
So,
which is I mean I like it. Traditional, and let's get what does that incorporate?
so it's classic, rich dark woods, antique furniture, and like elegance.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
So,
basically it.
pretty sure that's gonna be the design for the interior car. One time it used to be car design. Now it's not. Now it's the interior.
A car design.
Yeah. Yeah. You know. I mean, I had a car, and you know, I won't talk about the brand, but like one of the features was like a wood steering wheel.
Oh, okay. Yes. Actually, I do know what you're talking about. I have seen that before.
Like, what the hell's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like traditional style. Well, it comes with a wood. But in this particular case, I do like this concept.
Traditional. Yeah.
I like traditional concepts. Traditional concepts, basically, like you had said, it's wood design and woodworking and things like that. So the big thing is like where we kind of, with that kind of lens to, this is a dying trend. I mean, while it's a trend going into, it represented an era. I always say, like, if everybody knows what the Gilded Age is, like, you know, the very early turn of the century was a time for this type of concept to exist. So when we talk about traditional style, they're really born from that time, where wood, very opulent wood walls, very classical design. One of the greatest things about that era, and if they exist, it's obviously back. I don't know if it's ever really disappeared to the degree that we've said, or that it's a trend, but the trend is there. It's very ornate. Like the details in the wood is absolutely the key feature to that era. So the craftsmanship, all those things. Why people would tear this out is just, I don't know why anybody would ever change traditional for tradition. There's always, and I think if you want to say it's in the 2024, I think it's the concept that just keeps moving. Yeah. I don't think it ever disappears. No. Everybody likes a traditional look. Yeah. I think it just continues on that path. Have you ever seen, have you ever done anything that has a traditional look? I'm not too sure.
On a home tour?
Yeah. We did, I know one, but I don't know if you were on one.
What?
We did 36 Hunter Place.
I don't know that.
Yeah, you were, that was before your time. 36 Hunter Place actually used this, this concept. That was stunning. But it was actually a recreated interior by an interior designer who won Staten Island Advance Awards, 36 Hunter Place.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
A tutor, and used a lot of this concept. Maybe not the full wood wall. But it was half wood, and most of the doors were like this. Matter of fact, some of the wood was imported from Egypt and things like that. It was absolutely stunning.
Wow, that's nice, yeah.
But
traditional I like. I do like
yes.
traditional.
And that's going to be really what we have to go over for tonight.
Yes.
And this was, it was entertaining, hopefully. We'll get into, obviously, as we move on, you're going to get even more and more comfortable with the concept of doing ad hoc interviews and things like that.
This is my first.
Your first real, delve into this part of Prodigy Real Estate, and it's like everything else. Everybody kind of grows into that.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be fun. I think you're going to be spectacular. She's been a real inspiration here, so it's good to see that you're taking the next step and breaking out of your Gen Z. That Gen Z, hard to talk, it's like one of the things that, not to keep this going, I know you want to get the hell out of here, but the Gen Z, the mantra's always been quietness. They don't talk very much because they're so used to communicating.
And plus, COVID did take, that happened when I was 20. So it was kind of my growing up stage.
Is this the most you've been talking as a general? You weren't a big talker before you actually came into this business, right?
Yeah, no, I was always shy and in the corner,
I know, but how much things have changed from in the corner to on the screen,
I know.
right? It's okay, and you probably see Keri on just about everything now, and she's kind of made a mark here. So it's going to be an interesting 2024. I think we have a lot of things upcoming, and we hope that you tune in on Fridays, and we'll get more stuff. And then obviously we're going to be doing some agent stuff next week. I have some people on schedule. I got to drag them on because it's good that they get on so you know some more.
Yes, it's always nice.
All right. So again, thank you guys, and you have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
And we'll see you in
next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Because we have stats to do.
Yes.
So for those people out in New Jersey, we're going to have the New Jersey stats. I'm going to take these off. My eyeballs sweat with these things on. It's kind of weird.
Your eyeballs?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Literally around my eyes sweat. But that's the thing. But so the big thing is tune in again. We'll have something for you in a week.
Yeah.
Next week we'll be doing Monmouth Ocean stats. And I want to just put that out there. February is going to be interesting numbers for the real estate market. So stay tuned to the February report because I think there's 2 key reports coming out we're going to be doing. Stay tuned for them because it's going to really, this is where we're going to see what 8% rates have really done.
Yeah.
So we'll see that. We'll see that in the February numbers. I've said this before. The February numbers is a really telling sign of where we're at. So I do think it's a lagging indicator. But anyway, have a great night. Enjoy your Friday. It didn't snow much, so you're pretty safe out there. Yes. All right. Have a great night, folks. Take care.
Bye, guys.